Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to another video. This is Fisherman Log number 97, and I thought I'd start off today with these guys. A couple of different reasons. First off, they are now out of quarantine, so they've been here long enough. I can put them in any of my fish tanks. And as I've mentioned before a couple of times, I really do like the structure and health and, well, basically just their energy. And the other reason is I noticed something interesting in their aquarium, and that is, there we go, they've started having fry. Now, I thought what I would do initially was take them out of here and put them in, aquariums to breathe them and everything, but they seem quite happy in this tank, and they aren't eating their fry, so that's, well, at least not all of them anyway, and they're doing really quite well, so I'm going to leave them in here. I will fish out the fry periodically and put them in their own aquarium to grow up, and we'll see how they grow. I mean, they look good now, and they're nice and healthy, and they're active. I started feeding them on Daphnia and Cyclopses and that sort of stuff, so hopefully they'll grow well. We'll see what they look like when they're full grown, because I still think I am going to keep their gene pool separate from my other ones for a little while, because I like them a lot better than the originals. And as you can see here now, the zebra danios are starting to look like zebra danios. I actually really like it. I don't have to... Oh, when you record them when they're really tiny, it's really hard to get the camera to focus at all, and, well, now I don't have to do that at all, so it's much nicer and easier. Now, I'm showing you this for a number of reasons. First off, I do culture a fair amount of green water, and, well, goldfish are really good at that, so it is an easy tank for me to do that with. But one of the reasons for that in this particular clip is I've been adding a fair amount of that green water into this tank here. I've been exclusively feeding my fish, at least as far as Daphnia and Cyclops and that sort of stuff, from that tank. So I thought I would start adding in some green water to try and promote more of the, well, paramecia and that smaller stuff to grow. And then, of course, the Daphnia will feed on everything. So I tried to get a couple clips of them in. This is just like a little bit of that tank water. I wanted to get see if there's a fair amount of paramecia in there. You can see there's some zipping around. It's a big tank. Now, obviously, there's a fair amount in there because I'm pulling on an awful lot of Daphnia and Cyclopses. So they are feeding on something, and I'm not worried about the population. I just wanted to have a quick look to see if it was dense or more dense than that. But no, it's okay. It's enough. So these are the two tanks. These are going to be for the experiment between the box filter and then the gravel filter. They've been running now more than long enough. But I tend to, when these things are being set up, try to be patient with it. I try to make sure I don't rush things too much. Don't want to cause any issues. And the other reason, of course, is I haven't quite decided what I want to put in here yet. They're two really nice tanks, and there's lots of plants. I just need to figure out what I want to put in it. I want to, put something in it, obviously, that's relatively balanced. I have also more platy fry now, so that might be a possibility. Now, if you remember my last video, I had taken some Lexan and made a lid, and I think this is just it drooping, but it's hard to say. It could be warping already. If it is, that's just really disappointing, because it's supposed to be more resistant to that than the other acrylic that I use all the time, and if it's not, well, that's, like I said, that's going to be a big disappointment. It certainly won't be anything I'll be using as for lids and stuff. One of the things that I've already decided I don't like about this particular lid is I need to drill a hole or something, because I don't like having to flip it up every time I feed the fish. So I'll probably be making that effort to do that in a little while. I want to make sure I don't, cause it to warp even more. These shrimp are doing really well. I'm very happy with them. Actually, I'm quite happy with this whole tank, because they're having lots of fry, and they're not eating their fry, and they're also not chasing the shrimp around too much. And of course, I have the rice fish in here as well. They're all doing quite well. I haven't noticed any issues with anybody, and I'm going to keep this tank going as is for a fair amount of time. I might start pulling some of the fry out if they get to be too many of them, but other than that, that's it. Now, I was focusing down in here for a reason, and that was because I had noticed there's still a couple of cherry shrimp in here. They must have been like shrimplets in the Java moss at some point, and I didn't notice them, and now they're starting to crawl out of the woodwork, or I guess out of the moss work, and I was hoping to catch one out, but I didn't find it. They're very good at hiding. Now the female, who is buried up, I haven't seen her. I haven't really been looking, to tell you the truth. I don't like to disturb things too much when they're in there doing their thing. I said I haven't seen her like crawling around on the bottom or anything, so I'm keeping my eye out. Maybe we'll see some shrimplets in this that are not cherry shrimp, and well, that would be very nice. So patience there for sure. They'll grow up. I'm not too worried about it. Even if they do predate on some of them, they're not going to feed on all of them. They're very good at hiding, especially in the Java moss like that. So we'll see probably in a short little while. Now, this is beginning to mature quite well. And as you can see, there's a fair amount of algae growing in that lift stack. And that's the thing that I'm most interested in as far as cleaning goes. The round tubes are very, very easy to clean. And I've never had any issues with it. So time to clean this out and see how well it performs. I mean, it's obviously not important as far as the function of the filter goes. But I wanted to see if it, can be made presentable. And those platies you see are the ones that I'm not going to mix with this current gene pool, because first off, I need to put them in a client's tank, and secondly, like I said, I really like that other pile. I like how they look. So we'll see. Going forward, you never know. Now, I meant to show you this a week or two ago. This is the Leakproof canister filter, or the new version of it, I should say. That is neither a canister filter nor probably even leak-proof for that matter. It's doing nicely now that I put the extra lid on. You can see that the leaves are growing nice above the water, and they're staying nice and green. And that's great. That's what I'm hoping for. I wanted it to start filling above the water line. And the tank that it goes to, as I'm going to pan down here in a second, stays perfectly crystal clear, and there's no other filtration on it besides those two pipes you see going in there. Now, water level is a little bit low at the moment because I was being a little lax in my maintenance the last week. I took a few days off, and I haven't done a water change on this. Oh, I haven't done a water change on this tank actually in 2-3 months. But I usually top it up because it's not fully covered, so it does evaporate a fair amount out of that one. Now this, I haven't shown you in a very long time. These plants are doing so well. I do like just the general look of this. But the only thing that really surprises me is this spider plant. I mean, it is massive. It's just growing out of that little pot there. There's no soil, no nothing. It's just getting a bubble of tank water that goes through it, and that's it. And it's quite happy and healthy. And anyway, I just wanted to show that to you. I mean, obviously the peace lily is doing well, and that's the other rabbit's foot fern that I took the clippings from. I'll be showing that to you at the end there. It's actually growing another leaf, which is really quite nice. These guys are doing really well. I do need to take, I think, 2 or 3 out of here for a client, and I'm kind of procrastinating on that because I'm not entirely sure which ones to take out, which ones to leave. I really get attached to fish that I raise, and that can be a problem when you have tanks to fill. I definitely need to do that. These 2 filters are doing really well. I obviously need to clean their the caps that go on them because they're getting a little algae covered, but that doesn't affect, of course, their ability to do what they need to do, which is keep the tank clean. So there's a little leaf, and it's doing really quite well. This whole thing is doing really nicely. I really do like this. The peace lily in here is growing a flower, and then it's a sure sign that it's nice and happy, besides the fact, of course, all the leaves are nice and green. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think of things. And there's one other thing about this. That the sponge you just saw there, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago it had slipped down for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe it was because I was in there fiddling around with stuff and I didn't notice it. I now have guppies down in the sump, and I have to remember to feed them because I haven't fished them out yet. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and bye for now.